time. It marches on, indifferent to our hopes and dreams. Each grain of sand that falls, a moment lost, a reminder of life's fleeting nature. We often get caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life, forgetting the bigger picture. But what happens when we hit the pause button, when we allow ourselves a moment of quiet reflection? It is in these moments of stillness that we confront a fundamental truth. Our time on this earth is finite. The ancient Stoics, masters of wisdom and resilience, offer us a powerful tool to navigate the human condition, Memento Mori. Remember, you must die. These 3 words, simple yet profound, hold the power to transform our lives. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and philosopher, embraced this Stoic principle, weaving it into the fabric of his daily life. He understood that by acknowledging our mortality, we unlock a deep appreciation for the present moment. Memento Mori is not about dwelling on death, but about living life to the fullest with intention and purpose. Alex, a young professional in the cutthroat world of finance, was living the dream, or so he thought. His days were a blur of spreadsheets, meetings, and deadlines. The constant pressure to climb the corporate ladder consumed his every waking thought. Weekends were spent catching up on sleep or drowning his anxieties in fleeting pleasures. Alex, like many of us, had fallen into the trap of chasing tomorrow, sacrificing the present moment for the illusion of future happiness. He had become disconnected from his true self, his values, and the things that truly mattered. The following week, Alex found himself sitting across from his doctor, his heart pounding in his chest. A routine checkup had taken an unexpected turn. Words like tumor and biopsy hung in the air, heavy with uncertainty. The news hit Alex like a ton of bricks, shattering his carefully constructed reality. The world, once so predictable and within his control, now felt fragile and unpredictable. Fear, cold and relentless, gripped him. The days that followed were a blur of medical appointments, tests, and anxious waiting. Alex, accustomed to tackling challenges head-on, felt paralyzed by the weight of his diagnosis. One sunny afternoon, seeking solace from the sterile confines of his apartment, Alex found himself wandering aimlessly through a nearby park. He watched as children chased pigeons, their laughter echoing through the air, oblivious to life's fragility. He saw elderly couples strolling hand in hand, their weathered faces etched with the passage of time, yet radiating a quiet joy. As he sank onto a bench, his gaze fell upon a sundial, its shadow slowly creeping across its face. An inscription caught his eye. Time flies, suns set, and life must end. In that moment, Alex realized that he had been living his life on autopilot, sleepwalking through precious days, oblivious to the gift of the present. The inscription on the sundial sparked a flicker of curiosity within Alex. He noticed an elderly man sitting on the bench across from him, deeply engrossed in a book. The man had a peaceful aura about him, a quiet strength that drew Alex in. Mustering his courage, Alex approached the man, hoping to glean some wisdom from his serene presence. "Excuse me," Alex began hesitantly. "I couldn't help but notice that inscription on the sundial." The older man looked up, his eyes twinkling with wisdom and a hint of amusement. "Indeed, young man," he replied, his voice calm and reassuring. Alex, sensing a kindred spirit, shared his recent diagnosis and the turmoil he was experiencing. Alex looked at the man, puzzled. A gift? How could this possibly be a gift? The older man, sensing Alex's confusion, continued, "Most people go through life unaware of their own mortality, chasing fleeting pleasures and hollow victories. You, however, have been given a rare opportunity to confront this truth head-on and to live the rest of your days with intention and purpose." He pointed to the book in his lap. "Have you ever read Marcus Aurelius?" he asked. Alex shook his head, admitting that he had never delved into the writings of the ancient Stoics. As the older man spoke, Alex felt a shift within himself. The Stoic philosophy, with its emphasis on acceptance, virtue, and living in accordance with nature, offered a new lens through which to view his situation. he realized that his fear and anxiety stemmed from his attachment to outcomes he couldn't control. He couldn't cheat death, but he could choose how he lived the rest of his days. He could choose to embrace the present moment, to appreciate the simple joys of life, and to focus on what truly mattered. The older man emphasized that Memento Mori wasn't about dwelling on death, but about using the awareness of our mortality to fuel a more meaningful life. He urged Alex to shift his focus from the quantity of his days to the quality of his moments. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the park, Alex felt a sense of gratitude wash over him. He thanked the older man for sharing his wisdom and for offering him a new perspective. He realized that his diagnosis, while daunting, had also been a wake-up call. It had jolted him out of his complacency and forced him to confront the preciousness of life. He left the park that evening with a renewed sense of purpose. The cityscape, once a symbol of his ambition and stress, now shimmered with possibility. Alex knew he still had challenges ahead, but he was no longer paralyzed by fear. He had been given the gift of perspective, the wisdom to see his life through the lens of Memento Mori. Inspired by his encounter in the park, Alex went home and began to reevaluate his priorities. The once coveted corner office now seemed insignificant in the grand scheme of things. He realized he had spent countless hours chasing promotions and salary increases, sacrificing time with loved ones and neglecting his own well-being. The Stoic teachings resonated deeply with him. Life wasn't about accumulating possessions or accolades, but about living virtuously and making the most of the time we are given. He decided to make a change. He started by setting boundaries at work, delegating tasks, and leaving the office at a reasonable hour. He reconnected with his family and friends, making an effort to be fully present during their time together. Alex also began to question his material desires. The fancy car, the designer clothes, the expensive gadgets, they had once held a certain allure, promising happiness and fulfillment. Truly were temporary distractions, superficial pursuits that did little to nourish his soul. He decided to simplify his life, selling his sports car and donating many of his possessions back, volunteering at a local homeless shelter, and free from the constraints of his former life, Alex began to explore long-forgotten passions. He had always loved to paint as a child, but had abandoned his art in pursuit of a more practical career. Now, he returned to his easel with a newfound appreciation for creativity and self-expression. He enrolled in a pottery class, rediscovering the joy of working with his hands. He even joined a local choir, his voice blending with others in harmonious melodies. He embraced these activities not for external validation but for the pure joy they brought him. As Alex continued on his journey of self-discovery, he developed a profound sense of gratitude. He found himself marveling at the everyday miracles he had previously taken for granted: the warmth of the sun on his skin, the laughter of children playing, the taste of a delicious meal. He began each day with a moment of reflection, expressing gratitude for the gift of life and for all the blessings in his life. He started a gratitude journal, recording even the smallest details that brought him joy: a heartfelt conversation with a friend, a beautiful sunset, a moment of unexpected kindness. Months passed and Alex's transformation was remarkable. The fear that had once consumed him had dissipated, replaced by a quiet strength and a deep appreciation for the gift of life. He moved through the world with a newfound sense of purpose, his actions guided by intention, and a desire to live in alignment with his values. His encounter with the Stoic philosophy, particularly the concept of Memento Mori, had become a guiding principle in his life, a constant reminder to savor each moment and to live with no regrets. His relationships deepened, his interactions more meaningful. He no longer sought validation from external achievements but found joy in the simple act of connecting with others on a deeper level. The quality of Alex's relationships improved dramatically. He made a conscious effort to be fully present during conversations, putting away his phone, and truly listening to what others had to say. He rediscovered the joy of shared meals, laughter-filled evenings with friends, and heartfelt conversations with loved ones. His relationship with his family, once strained by his relentless pursuit of success, blossomed into something truly special. He made time for weekly dinners with his parents, relishing their stories and offering his unwavering support. He reconnected with his siblings, planning weekend getaways and sharing meaningful conversations that strengthened their bond. Recognizing the fleeting nature of time, Alex embraced each day with a renewed sense of purpose. He started each morning with a meditation practice, grounding himself in the present moment and setting his intentions for the day ahead. He no longer allowed himself to be swept away by the chaos of daily life, but approached each task with focus and intention. He found joy in the simplest of activities, whether it was savoring his morning coffee, taking a walk in nature, or losing himself in a good book. He made a conscious effort to infuse his days with activities that brought him joy and nourished his soul. Each day became an opportunity for growth, exploration, and connection. The most profound change in Alex was his newfound sense of peace. He had let go of the need to control everything, accepting that life unfolds in its own time and in its own way. He no longer feared the unknown but embraced it with courage and curiosity. He had found peace in the present moment, in the understanding that life is a precious gift, to be cherished and lived to the fullest. Alex's journey is a testament to the power of Memento Mori. By embracing the reality of his own mortality, he was able to let go of what no longer served him and to create a life filled with purpose, meaning, and joy. He discovered that true happiness is not found in chasing external validation, but in living each day with intention, gratitude, and a deep appreciation for the gift of life itself. Alex's story shows how embracing our mortality can lead to a more fulfilling life. How do we apply this ancient wisdom, this memento mori, to our lives? Acknowledge our time on earth is finite. It's about recognizing life's preciousness. What would you do differently? What relationships would you nurture? Start by incorporating small, practical steps into your daily routine. Begin each day with a few moments of reflection, reminding yourself of the gift of life and setting your intentions for the day ahead. Practice gratitude, taking time to appreciate the simple joys, a warm cup of coffee, a shared laugh with a loved one, the beauty of the natural world. Engage in activities that nourish your soul, whether it's spending time in nature, pursuing a creative passion, or volunteering your time to a cause you believe in. Make a conscious effort to be fully present in your interactions with others. Put away your phone, silence the distractions, and truly listen to what others have to say. Nurture your relationships, making time for meaningful conversations, shared experiences, and expressions of love and appreciation. Remember, the connections we forge with others are among life's greatest treasures. Living with Memento Mori is not about living in fear of death, but rather living in awe of life. It's about squeezing every drop of joy, meaning, and purpose out of each precious moment we are given. It's about embracing our mortality not as an end, but as a beginning, a catalyst for living with intention, gratitude, and a deep appreciation for the gift of existence itself. So I leave you with this. What will your legacy be? How will you choose to spend the precious time you have left? Embrace the present moment, live with intention, and make each day a masterpiece. Remember, you are not defined by the length of your life, but by the depth of your love, the impact of your actions, and the legacy of your spirit. Live fully now, for this moment is all we truly have. Years have passed since Alex's encounter with Stoic wisdom. He has blossomed into a beacon of peace and purpose. His face tells a story of a life well lived. The specter of his diagnosis has faded, replaced by appreciation for each sunrise. His life is a tapestry woven with gratitude, love, and presence. The inscription on that weathered sundial in the park, "Time flies, suns set, and life must end," continues to echo in his heart, not as a morbid decree, but as a gentle reminder to savor each precious moment. It's a call to action, urging him to live fully, to love deeply, and to leave the world a little brighter than he found it. He carries the wisdom of Memento Mori not as a burden, but as a guiding light, illuminating the path towards a more fulfilling and meaningful existence. It's a reminder that every interaction, every experience is an opportunity to create something beautiful, to leave a positive mark on the world. It's a call to embrace the impermanence of life not with fear, but with a sense of wonder, a recognition that it is the fleeting nature of our existence that makes it so precious. Alex's story is not unique. It's a reflection of the transformative power within each of us. Memento Mori is a tool for living a more intentional life. Embrace the gift of our mortality now. Make the most of this beautiful, fleeting gift we call life. Live fully, love deeply. Your journey begins now.